Welcome to Manny's TV Talk, where we will talk about all of our favorite reality TV shows and news surrounding them. Grab a snack, a drink, and get comfortable because this starts now.
Something going on in your personal life.
With what, though?
Her marriage.
If I'm exercising and not drinking, because guess what? Even if I have 2 glasses of wine the next day, I feel down and depressed. I can't afford to feel depressed right now.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back. We gotta talk about this new Real Housewives of Beverly Hills episode because we finally got an episode that wasn't boring. So let's get started, y'all. This is season 13, episode 6. The episode starts. Crystal and Dorit are arriving to Kyle's house. Kyle invited them for lunch. Kyle has a lot of mess going on in her house, like literally mail and paper all over the counters. The first thing they talk about is that Dorit is very glad that her and Garcelle were able to talk, and she's glad that she apologized to her, so hopefully they can move on. Then Kyle says, I want to tell y'all something. I really do care about Sutton, she says, but feels like Sutton is being crazy lately. She does a dramatic interpretation of what Sutton said to her, and Dorit tags right along and says that she has experienced this with Sutton as well. Dorit mimics Sutton also, but then she goes a little bit too far. She says that Sutton is a bad drinker and says, I wouldn't be surprised if Sutton was sipping that vodka in the morning with her coffee. And Kyle agrees. This explains the recent little jabs that Teddy Mellencamp, the Nat, has been saying about Sutton. Now they're kind of pushing this narrative that Sutton is an alcoholic, and that's a little bit too far, like I said. Crystal is mad about it in her confessional, but right there she really didn't say much. But Kyle claims that she does care about Sutton. Well, you got a funny way of showing that, Kyle. Moving along, Sutton and Garcelle link up at some restaurant. Garcelle had a great movie premiere night. She's really happy with the turnout. Sutton is claiming that she's still a vegetarian but will still eat bacon. I'm not mad at it. So Sutton says that she has really nothing to say about Erika because Garcelle asked her about it. But Garcelle finds it suspicious that those guys randomly appeared on the elevator. Sutton says exactly. And that's what I told Kyle, and she defended Erika. Then Sutton tells Garcelle about the fight that she had with Kyle at Garcelle's event and her concerns about her not drinking and stuff like that. And she also notices that Kyle has a new sapphire ring that she's been wearing. Garcelle says, I really never pay attention to people's jewelry. The only time I paid attention was to Dorit, who was still wearing her jewelry after she was robbed. I was like, yes, come on, Garcelle, let him know. But why is this ring a big deal? Well, the rumors are that Mauricio is having an affair and Sutton has her suspicions, so she started putting 2 and 2 together. I love when Sutton and Garcelle play detective, okay? And Garcelle says, you gotta be honest and ask her. Let's clear the air. Moving on, Erika, she's with Alexis, a talent manager. She wants to discuss what are the possibilities that she can do in her entertainment career. She says that she has been really good at reorganizing the team. She got rid of that publicist, the messy one who was leaking the Kathy Hilton stuff, and they sort of reminisce about the drama with Tom and how that affected her reputation. No offers were coming in for a very long time, so now it's time to fix that. And she says that she has come back with a better sense of self than ever, and she wants to get back to music. She really wants to go back to doing that and performing and stuff, so they're going to do what they can and get back on track. It is very clear that Erika is trying to rebrand herself. So then Garcelle takes Jax out to dinner, the little rude one, that one. And Garcelle comes from a different background. A lot of us who have parents that are colored, they will say what they say to us, and if that's it, we will not say anything back, because if we do, we'll get whipped. But Garcelle wants to create a different space for her kids where they're able to communicate, and I like that. Garcelle says that she tells him, I was pretty upset about the beach day, and wow, Jax made a big revelation to her. So when Garcelle found out that her husband cheated on her, Garcelle made a letter exposing him and published it to the public. And that actually really hurt Jax, because he's been knowing about that since he was 8 years old, and she's shocked that he's been knowing this whole time. And you know what's crazy though? I remember one time Garcelle was having this conversation when she was still on the reel. And Adrienne Bailon had told Garcelle if she regretted doing that letter and putting it out there. She said, what about your kids who are going to read it in the future? And I remember Garcelle saying, well, they're going to know eventually. It's no big deal. So it's really interesting to see that it indeed did affect Jax and she never even knew about it, but they were able to have a great conversation and move forward, and I loved it. It was really nice. Okay, then things get a little weird. So Kyle goes to a tattoo place. She's talking with the tattoo artist, and then Morgan, the country singer that she's supposedly dating, she comes over, and from the moment she walked in, Kyle is all jittery, blushing. It's weird. The tattoo artist asks, how did you guys meet each other? And the chick says that Kyle stalked her. And Kyle says, yeah, I love your music. And she's touching her, looking at her tattoos. Then she invites her to some weed dinner that she's having. And they're talking about edibles. And I was like, what is going on? They were holding hands. I don't know. I felt uncomfortable. Then Kyle gets on the bed and gets her tattoo. It's like a little planet. It's really tiny though. But I just can't tell if she's trying to pretend that they are a lesbian relationship or if she's doing it unwillingly. I have no idea, but it's weird. So after doing that, Kyle gets back home from the tattoo appointment and she walks home and Mauricio is there. He wrote a book that she has not read, and then she tells him about the tattoo and he is like, why honey, like why are you doing this? He asks if it's his name and she says no. She shows him and it's the planet Saturn. He asks that I don't remember exactly what he said, but he said something along the lines of he doesn't see it often. Listen, I don't care what people say. If I marry a woman and she has no tattoos when I met her and married her, I don't want her to be getting tattoos 20 years later, okay? That's my opinion. That's it. I mean it. Okay, moving forward. So remember Sutton's dating game's kind of weak? Well, she has some sort of matchmaker come over who has picked 3 men for her who she's going to be going on a date with. And to help her figure things out, she invites Dorit. I don't know why, but the lady is talking about Sutton and what she wants. But Dorit starts to say a lot of negative things about Sutton. She says, I don't think Sutton is self-aware. I think she's erratic and unpredictable. Oh my gosh, you as my friend, you're going to be talking about my flaws in front of someone else? No. So the lady shows them the 3 bachelors, and it looks like they're pretty good suitors, but Sutton, she's a little bit weird. I'm sorry, but sometimes she gives like weird grandma energy. Like for example, they were looking at one guy and she says, oh no, I don't like him. I don't like what he's wearing. I don't like the shirt that he has on with that suit. Come on, Sutton. And like, don't be so picky. I mean, no, never mind. But yeah, she was being a little bit too picky. But out of the 3, they decide on one, so she will be going on a date with him, so we'll see how that goes. So we move on to the day of Kyle's party. As she's getting ready, she's FaceTiming Morgan again. And once again, the flirting, the blushing, all of this, turns out that Kyle tattooed something on her the other day when they were there together. But then the others continue to get ready as well, and then now what I will give to Kyle is that she can throw a party and have good food. That's what I do like. So she's doing some last finishing touches, like arranging the place cards, and people start to arrive. Faye Resnick gets there. We are finally introduced to Annemarie Wiley, the new housewife. She looks pretty nice, and she was hugging everyone. It looked like she had a lot of energy. She shares the same birthday with Kyle's mom. Kyle also tells Annemarie, who works out 6 days a week, that she's been attacked by one of the girls for her working out. So she's coming in as Kyle's friend. She is married to Marcellus Wiley, a former NFL player, and she also lives on the same street as Kyle. And then you guys, I got so excited. The fabulous one and only Cynthia Bailey was in the house. Also, Garcelle, whoever chose this outfit for you, electric chair. What is this? So the guests continue to arrive. I find it interesting that they referenced that dinner that Kyle had with that sidekick that said that she will never be happy with her husband. And then you guys, the only 2 blondes that I want to see on this show arrive. Denise and Camille. All eyes were on them, especially since Faye is there. And, you know, remember the morally corrupt Faye Resnick? They had that whole thing with her and Camille. But I was so happy to see Camille and Denise. Although I will say, Denise, I don't know what she was on, but she was acting a little bit weird. Now, everyone is supposed to be getting high on that dinner, but some don't want to. I get it, because I wouldn't want to either. Messy Kyle put Camille and Faye right across each other in the table, but Faye gets up and moves. She wasn't about to sit in front of Camille. Before the dinner starts, Sutton wants to talk to Kyle. Sutton wants to fix things, and she puts her to the side, and she says that, she recently had a meeting with her ex-husband, Christian. He got a big promotion. He's going to go to London, and he wants to take James with him, their son. And she's trying to show Kyle where her mind is at. And Sutton was saying that she was going through a lot, because what if James wanted to go to London? So it's been really heavy on her, which is why maybe she's been acting up. But vile Kyle is being so insensitive. She's making faces. It was so disgusting. She even went as far as to say, oh, okay, so it's a move to London and you're gonna get more child support. What's the big deal? Wow, what an a-hole. Sutton got mad because Kyle saying that this is an excuse that Sutton is putting. And Sutton says, well, what is your excuse? Sutton says to Kyle that she is not being the friend that she knows at this moment. But everybody is waiting for them. So Crystal goes to go get them. And Sutton says, I'm not going to talk to you anymore if you're not going to be truthful. And Kyle says, you're the one that's been acting weird. I don't know if it's your medicine or your drinking. Okay, Kyle is going too far and she needs to be dragged. Sutton goes back to the table and then Erika asks, where is our hostess? And Sutton says, in denial about something. I was like, period. So Kyle finally makes her way into the table. The herbal chef comes. That's his title. He introduces the cannabis courses. I had never heard of a full course meal that was all with weed in it. That's pretty interesting. And I'm pretty sure it's a pretty good business because he had a whole team and they were going around asking everyone what dose of drugs they wanted in the food. And again, some of them did say 0. So Crystal stirs the pot effectively and says, what was going on with Sutton and Kyle over there? Sutton says, well, I shared something very personal that Kyle made fun of. Kyle says, I did not make fun of it. I just said that you're using it as an excuse. Kyle says, if you keep insinuating that there's something going on with me, why don't you grow the balls to tell me what you're saying? Sutton says, okay, well, you stopped drinking, you're working out excessively, you changed your diet, and then Kyle screams, shut up because you barely eat. Okay, now that was too far as well. Then Annemarie, who I'm going to need her to settle down because she's a little bit too new to be doing all this, but she interjects and says that you guys are fighting but are not really saying anything. So Sutton says, okay, let me say it. Is there anything going on in your personal life? Garcelle, the queen, is tired of the BS, so she says, your marriage. Is something going on with your marriage? And why did you get a new wedding band? Kyle says that she bought it herself. Faye Resnick is somewhere in the back saying, oh, it's so inappropriate to be asking this. But Camille, her commentary at the other side of the table was killing me. She was hilarious. Kyle says that she bought the ring for herself and that it's no big deal. Then she sort of tells on herself because she says, she tells to Sutton, are you saying that my husband is cheating on me? Sutton says, did I say that? Y'all see how dumb Kyle is? Then Kyle says, I told you guys at the retreat this year that my marriage was not that good right now. Do y'all really want my husband to cheat on me and y'all want my marriage to fail? Even Erika had to be like, whoa, like that's a little bit too far. And then Kyle starts to scream about, I don't want to drink, I don't want to be depressed. She goes off, like she's screaming. But I guess it's okay for Kyle to have erotic behavior, but not for Sutton. And then it says to be continued. That was the end of the episode, you guys. This was crazy. Like I said, at least it wasn't boring. It was sort of entertaining. But I'm so sick of Kyle. After this season, I'm going to need her to exit the building because I'm tired of her same old behavior, not taking any accountability, playing the victim, being delusional, being in denial. It's really off-putting, and I think we've all had enough of this. I think, well, you guys agree with me that we've had enough of this. But I do enjoy Sutton and Garcelle trying to get the truth from Kyle. But I find it odd that now all of a sudden they're pulling from her rule book, ask these questions and be truthful, but now she has a problem with it because you're doing it to her. But when they did it to Denise, LVP, Camille, no problem then, but it is now. Come on, I'm tired of these double standards. But again, you guys, the highlight of this episode was definitely seeing the familiar faces. I love seeing Cynthia, Camille, Denise. But you guys let me know, what did you think about this dinner? We will have a part 2 next week and see how that dinner finishes out. But let me know what y'all thought about the dinner. What do you guys thought about Sutton versus Kyle and about the other ladies that were there? Let me know, you guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. You have a great one. Bye.